guys, it has been a freaking minute. I've been working really hard on the Insight trying to get it done because the weather's starting to break here in Ohio, and I really want to go troll the streets with this thing, so haven't really been filming. I do apologize. I was gonna try and make like a build I don't know, playlist on YouTube, but I took a lot of pictures, so I made like a little Facebook album instead. But like I said, I've been hitting it hard. I decided to paint the engine bay. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I did. I just couldn't stand the way it looked. It drove me nuts with how nice the engine, the accessories, everything like that were gonna be on this car. I decided just to paint it. I mean, it was a no-brainer. I was waiting on my wiring harness, waiting on my axles, which are all here now finally. So you'll see in just a second all the work I've got done in probably 2 weeks. I've really hit it hard, like I said, and just been working on it on and off after work when I get time, between customer cars, because I do run a detail shop. But yeah, enough talking. Let me go ahead and show you guys the Insight. Alright guys, here she is. You can see we've got the engine and transmission mated together in the car. Again, we've got the engine bay painted, and it turned out really nicely for a rattle can. Couple chips in it already with me, you know, pulling the engine out so many times. We painted this little crossbar black, just because I didn't really feel like painting down there, and you're not going to see it, so I think it turned out pretty good. But we've got our CJ's wiring harness here, so that'll lay under the valve cover just like that. We've got our hybrid racing fuel rail. We've got our fuel lines ran, coil packs on. We got the little K-tuned upper water neck, intakes on, bolted down. We're starting to run our radiator lines here. We're doing -16 radiator lines as well. Instead of trying to source lines, I just went ahead and was like, screw it, I'm gonna spend the $500 or $600 on -16 and line and everything like that. So we got all that, and yeah, I mean, the alternator's on. K-tuned alternator relocation bracket is on. We've got our battery relocation done as well. I just finished that up. So under here we've got a little hidden positive terminal, so that'll sit there just like that. Battery cable runs to the back, which is our power wire to the battery, and then off the battery you'll have your typical ground, and then we've got our starter, the starter wire goes straight to the positive of the battery, and an 8 gauge for those, and the fuse box wire from the alternator runs to the fuse box. So those are in and wired. Not great, but you know, they're done. Not sure if I'll keep it like this. I feel like this gauge of wire might be a little too thin, even though they advertise it at 8 gauge. It seems just a little bit too thin for my liking. We've got our K-tuned throttle cable, which I've yet to put back on the throttle body. Got our Hall effects sensor as well, and we also got the 1320 performance header on. Just need to put the little I guess back piece on that goes to a 3-inch V-band. We've also got our 06 Acura O2 sensor. Over here we've got -16 fittings, got the little cover. We do also have a K-tuned swivel thermostat housing, if I can say it, jeez. But unfortunately, I got juked via a eBay listing. I did place an order for a K-tuned swivel thermostat housing, and it showed in the pictures the -16 and the hose end, if you guys are familiar with this whole thermostat housing, but they just sent me the hose end one. Reached out to them, said, hey, you know, you guys advertised in the ad that this was a -16 and the hose end, because you can get both or one of each. And they weren't willing to send it out, so made a return and just bought the correct one, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. So we have that on the way. And yeah, guys, it's coming along very nicely. Really trying to crank this car out and honestly try and get it started probably tonight or tomorrow. So that might be in this video. I'm not sure what my plans are. We do have our we've got all the parts. So literally it's just a matter of me sitting down and installing all these things. We've got our slave cylinder that needs to go on the transmission yet still, which will run to the factory Insight master line, I guess you want to say. We also, in that box over there, decided to go Willwood 4-piston big brakes because I have EM2 knuckles on this car, so I have the really good selection of brake options for this car. I was gonna go stock brakes all in all, which would have cost me like 300 bucks, and I just swung the extra 300 bucks to get the really nice looking and great performing Willwood 4-pistons. So I didn't opt for red, I opted for black because, well, the car's red and I really like the red. But you can see we're kind of going with the black theme because, well, I mean, black's my favorite color, so we're just doing little red accents here and there. She's coming along very nicely. Like I said, I'm not sure really where this video is going to go, but I wanted to give you guys an update on the car. And like I said, really want to try and start this thing tonight, so we'll see what happens. But regardless, I wanted to give you guys an update. I've been hitting it hard. Well, at least I think I've been hitting it hard for a while. We've also got our hybrid racing shifter box and cables on order, so that should be here soon. But I did forget to show you guys our axles are in as well. So originally I placed an order for insane shaft 500 horsepower EM2 hub fitment TSX half shaft, and they got here. The driver's side fits decent, I should say. It doesn't fit great. I'm a little worried about it, to be honest, and I'll show you guys in just a second why. That fit okay, but I got to the passenger side where the actual half shaft is, and unfortunately it wouldn't fit. It was like 2 or 3 inches longer, and I was really scared. Not scared, just kind of upset, to be honest, but scared because, well, I mean, I want to get this car done as soon as possible, and waiting another month, 2 months to get axles with parts shortages and everything right now was kind of disappointing. So ended up taking some measurements and realized that insane shafts either didn't catch that I said TSX half shaft or just assumed. So thankfully, my buddy Steven Hill, he has an Insight as well. Shout out to Steven if you're watching this. Had an RSX half shaft, an axle was stuck to it, so just had to air hammer it out. And we've got an RSX half shaft now with the insane shaft's axle on the passenger side, and it fits perfect. No complaints on that side. But again, the driver's side, I'm really worried about. If you can see, the boot is pretty much collapsed, and it's to the point where when you torque the axle nut to spec, it's pulling the axle out, which it's supposed to, but it's pulling it too far out, sadly. And I think this is going to be an issue. I really think once I put some power to this thing and, you know, try and do some first gear launches or what have you, I really think that it's probably going to break an axle. Thankfully, Insane Shafts does have warranty, but you know, how good is that warranty for when the axle is too short? So I'm going to CYA, as we call it, and send them an email and a picture and just say, hey, is this normal? Which obviously I don't think it is. But I'm just going to CYA and say, hey, look, this is the issue I'm having. Either could you make me a new axle and, you know, can I run this one and send it back, or, you know, can we work something out? So yeah, that's basically the game plan, guys. Just really grinding right now. And again, I do apologize for not really following through with the build videos back to back to back, but you guys can see how much I've gotten done within, I think the last time I filmed was a month, maybe 2 months. I'm not sure, but it's going to be worth it because I'm going to film a bunch of videos once the thing's actually running and essentially racing people around here, you know, just trolling, pulling up next to people that maybe don't know what this car is or what's done to it. So, you know, it should be pretty fun. But yeah, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, as always. The first video's got like 500 views already, which is pretty cool. Again, this was just for me, and, you know, if I can share something, help people out, maybe do the swap, or just show people that this swap is even a thing, which is pretty cool. So if you guys would, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, press the subscribe button, and if you want, turn on the little bell to get notified every time I list a video of the Insight. So that'd be cool. I'll see you guys in the next one.